Lord. I wish I would have thought twice. If I could start over, I'd do it again. Yeah. It's your boy Jump Road, representing like this here. Little Boys Entertainment. Cause my eyes always seem to shed tears. I be falling in this game. I wanna make a change in life. My own kind who ain't loving me right. That's right. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I always been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I always been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. I'm in the game, a nigga chose to be the king. Smoke weed, snow powder, feel crack, yeah, be up on the block. I got to make that quick dollar, cause that bread ain't coming fast when you work about an hour of being an hour. I'll take my death on these streets, but I know that I'm a thug. I'd rather die in my sleep. Say my prayers to the Lord, the devil taking my soul. Reflection from the mirror, it's the light that I chose. It fucked up when I see these kids on drugs. Know the difference with fighting and just showing a brother love. Come give me a hug. To get respect, you gotta earn it. And I must hate money, so when I get it, man, I burn it. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life.
Man, these streets is real, dawg. I live by the day. Packing the 380, man, the quietest nigga is afraid. They ask me how can I turn my back on my friends, they need ya. But ask yourself, how can you bite the hands that feed ya? From the cradle to the grave, man, I'm real, my nigga. We all got goals, but it's hard to accomplish, my nigga. In this game, I gotta turn my back one more again. No more hustling and smuggling, that can easily get you 10. But I can't fault the game because the game paid me. Mama taught a smart child, but these streets raised me. Ever since I stopped hustling, my friends started to fade because I came up with a new way to get paid. It took a bit into my world to change my life. Tyrone got murdered and Biggie down there got life. So the best of both worlds, I surrender my flag because I gave the dope game the best that I had.
Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. I don't start my own damn war. And then my family on the line, then I'ma take it that far. And drugs made me before I made drugs. Start with niggas and dime and moved up the dubs. I wanted to put stubs for niggas who play me weak. Metro, the white sheets, the blood, the taste of feet. And nigga, I fuck sleep. Get 24/7. Back in changing life and still don't go to heaven. I had it on my mind just to smash on the bitch. Smash that like gas just to drive on the bitch. And boy, you know me, no lead, no remain. Ask your boy Fro, but no, don't play no game. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life. Should've thought twice before a nigga made a move. I was been a fool, like school and broke through. Now I'm in the dark and I can't find the light. If I would've thought twice, man, I'd been had a life.
I beat D, Dr. Frizzle, Dr. Frizzle Frost. Welcome to Frostville. And today we're going to be dissecting the spiritual growth. So I'm going to give y'all like 10 things to help out with your spiritual growth. Like I said over here, man, we turn barbarians into warriors. I know everybody on the celebrity shit. I know everybody on relationships. But over here, we just work on self-development. We might talk about that shit sometime, but it's most likely self-development over here. So hit the like button on the way in. You come through. This is my kingdom. Say hey. Just put a hey in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Speak when you come through the door. But this is my kingdom. So let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. I ain't got nothing up here. Let's dive into it. First of all, it's been a rough year. I'm 39. If you live to see this age, it's a blessing because most people are passing away at a younger age. They're being deceased. They're being off at a young age. So, what I want to do before I get this show started, I want to have a moment of silence for our past loved ones. Now, let's get into the show. Spiritual growth. The first one I got, nothing in particular order. The first one I got is being thankful for what you have, being grateful for what you have, even if it's just a little something. Be thankful for that. Shouts out to Miles Cunningham. Shouts out to Dr. BOA. Them like the only two besides myself that I know speak on this type of stuff. So you have to be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the small things. You know what I'm saying? If you can't even be thankful for the little things, how can you be thankful for bigger things to come in the future? So, for instance, like, and shouts out to Detroit Black for giving me this concept. So I ride my bike. I ride my bike to work, and I be like, man, I want a car. You know what I'm saying? I want me a car, even though I'm not in a situation to just snag one right now. But I be like, I want a car. Then people who have cars be like, I want a better car. And people who have better cars be like, I want a fancy car. You know what I'm saying? So let me rewind all the way back to me on the bike. That person walking can say, I wish I was on a bike. I want me a bike so I can move a little faster. Then you also have that person that can't walk and want to walk. Is you gravitating to where I'm getting here? We have to be thankful for the small things. We got to stop complaining. I hear a lot of people complaining. I know the world can get overwhelming. I know it can get hard. I know things can get rough. I know it can get tough out here. But we have to have that drive. We have to have that energy to push further, that determination, that motivation of selfness to move forward. We got to have that drive, man. Things ain't gonna, right now, things don't look like it's getting any better. So the best thing you can do is keep your mind frame at a stable area. Just have your mind frame stable. My son, salute the high son Ty here. What to do? And 28, baby, who came through early. He came through early on me. So we have to stay focused. Be thankful and grateful for the small things. The second thing I got is, hey, Hassan, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Let me cook real quick. You know what I'm saying? I got the fire on the stove. Let me cook real quick. I'm gonna put that link in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Soon I get through cooking. The second thing I have is separation. I ain't saying separate like Don't talk to nobody. You can talk to people from time to time, but you have to separate yourself from things that slow you down in life, things that have no purpose in your life, and also separate yourself to have spiritual healing, have more time with the Most High, have more time to talk to Him so He can guide you and show you where you need to be. Now, I'm not gonna go too deep in this stuff. We just speaking on a couple things, right? Just speaking on a couple things. So separation is another thing that can help you. The third thing is responsibility. You have to be responsible. Be responsible mainly for your own actions. And that's why a lot of people do the finger pointing. They're not responsible, not taking accountability for their own actions. So it's a lot of finger pointing. It's a lot of it's because of them. It's because of them. It's because of her. It's because of him. It's because the white man. It's because the Mexican. It's because the black brothers. It's always the finger pointing. You got to be accountable for your own actions. What you allow into your life, what you allow into your zone. You have to stay focused on your own bubble, right? Stay focused on that and stay in your own bubble and take accountability. If you fuck up, oh well, you fucked up, right? You fucked up, but you got another chance. You got another chance to make it. You wake up the next day so you can conquer. You wake up the next day so you can conquer. You know what I'm saying? You got another opportunity. You get up, your body's still healthy. You get up, your legs still working. You get up, your arms still working. Some people wake up in a stroke. They can't feel their arm. Some people wake up and can't feel their leg. This whole half of their body is numb. They barely can pick the phone up to call 911. Some people wake up like that. So be thankful that you woke up to conquer another day. The next thing I have is self-control. You have to have self-control because people are out of control, right? They're out of control. So the main thing you can do for yourself is have self-control. You have to have that. Stop getting too emotional. Stop getting into your feelings about things. Stop worrying about how other people feel about you. Stop worrying about what they say about you. That don't matter. What you think. You got to be confident in your own self. You got to be confident in your own abilities. You got to be confident that you can get up and take over shit. These are just milestones and you stepping on that shit to get to the top. You know how Mario did? He stepped on them milestones and he grabbed the fucking flag. And even if he didn't grab the top of the flag, he grabbed the middle of the pole. God damn it, it was a success. He conquered that level. And that's how the mind frame we got to have. Self-control. Not lashing out at people. I know you mad. I know you mad. Hold on, I gotta take this let me take this show starts in a few down. Because the show started. We out here. We in here. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Y'all make sure you come through, you speak. Because this is my kingdom right here. This is my kingdom. Your main event, bro. That's a crowd. Some people cheer, some people don't, right? But over here, this is my home. This is my kingdom. Speak when you come through the door. You feel me? Appreciate that. Appreciate that, hot son. Hit the like button. Subscribe. But you have to have self-control. We got to stop lashing out, man. We got to have more self-control than that. Stop being overwhelmed about what's going on. We too focused on the outer instead of the inner. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we ain't finna elaborate too much in that. But we gonna talk about it just a little bit. The next thing is to gain knowledge. It's never too late to learn. You learn new stuff every day. You need that knowledge. You need that to proceed in life. You know what I'm saying? You need that shit to carry on, to build. You always learning. Even if you conquer this, it's always something else to conquer. You know what I'm saying? Huh? We can get sidetracked a little bit, but make sure you get your ass back on the goddamn track and push forward, move forward. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. The next thing, you got to have a purpose. If you're not shooting for the stars, then what the fuck is you shooting for? Huh? You got to shoot for the stars. Have a purpose. Have something you're aiming at. You got to have a direction. You got to have a path. Some people get on the path and they see that big ass boulder and they just stop and look at the boulder and be like, well, this is as far as I'm going. I guess this is as far as I'm going. Not thinking outside the box. Go around that motherfucker. Or else, if you can't go around, find something to break that boulder down so you can get through it. We breaking boulders around here. You know what I'm saying? Huh? We breaking boulders. And we gonna continue on that path. We gonna continue on that path. That's what we do over here in Frostville. We keep it moving. We keep it pushing. We go hard. The next thing I got is acceptance. Acceptance. When you have to accept things as they are. I go to work. I have to accept that the rules gonna change. I got to adapt to the way things change. Dealing with the government, I got to accept that the government, I can't do shit about it. If you want to do something about it, then you get the knowledge, you learn it, and you go be in a public office. You get the knowledge and you learn it, you go be a manager, and then maybe you can do a shift into the building. But if you can't do that, then you have to accept it. Acceptance. You have to accept it and conquer. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say conquer, but I'm probably gonna say that a lot. You know what I mean? The next thing is it's important. You just got to keep faith in the Most High. You got to have faith, man. You got to have faith. You know what I'm saying? My homie Big Crit said, and this is what he mean by faith. I got to have some niggas with me that's down to die in something I believe in. Shouts out to Big Crit. I got to have people around me that's willing to die for something I believe in. I'm gonna say that shit again, cause I don't think y'all hear me, man. Y'all, I don't think they hear me, man. I think y'all just talking. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just talking. I can't even find my sound bite. I can't even find my sound bite for it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Hold up, give me a sec. Yeah, I don't think y'all hear me out here. Are you listening? Or are you trying to talk?
Are you listening or are you trying to talk?
Huh? Are you listening or are you trying to talk? Huh?
Are you listening or are you trying to talk?
Shit. I got to have people that's willing to die for something I believe in. Let's go. Keep your faith up. Prayers for wisdom, the understanding of knowledge, and the strength to conquer the day. People praying for the I pray for a big house. I pray for a car. I pray for money. No, we pray for wisdom, the understanding of knowledge, and the strength to conquer the day. That's what we have to pray for. We got to pray for the right thing. Oh, I pray for the right man to come in my life. I pray for the perfect woman. Ain't nobody fucking perfect, and people got mistakes. People have mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody gonna make mistakes. People gonna do shit you don't like. People gonna say shit that you don't like. People gonna talk about things you don't quite understand, but you got to pray for wisdom and the knowledge to understand the understanding of the knowledge, and pray for the strength to get your ass up and conquer the fucking day. Shit. Another thing that people don't have is forgiveness. Don't nobody want to forgive. Everybody want to hold this in their heart. Oh, this person did that to me. That person did that to me. Oh, I hate them. And the main thing would be what? Relationship shit. Oh, she did me wrong. She was fucking somebody else. Oh, he did me wrong. He was fucking another bitch. Oh, I can never forgive them. You know what I'm saying? Backstabbing. Your friends backstab you. Oh, I can't forgive them. I got to smash. No, we got to forgive that person. And not only forgive that person, but forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You have to. That's what forgiveness is all about, man. It'll help you a whole lot. It'll help you elevate. It'll help your mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Last thing I want to say is we have some great people out here. The world is not fully tarnished. It's not torn apart. We got some great people out here. And the great people seem to suffer. And we wonder why, right? We always wonder why. So with that being said, the link in the chat, click the link. Anybody want to come up and express themselves can come up. The link in the chat. The last thing I want to say, great souls are grown through struggles, storms, and seasons of suffering. Great souls are grown through struggles, storms, and seasons of suffering. So let's not wonder why. Let's take why out the equation. And let's just do what the fuck we got to do to carry on. Trey Furs, man. Trey Furs, what's up, man? Shouts out to you. Appreciate you sliding through, man. Appreciate you sliding through.
What up, Dr.
Hassan?
How you doing?
Man, it's all good.
It's good to see Dr. Fizzerfrost. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen him.
Yeah, when I come over, man, when I come over here, I had to tie my grip up, man. I had to escape the physical world and tap into the spiritual. You feel me?
Hey, I met new people. You know how you like to interview people on this channel? I got 3 new people. If you find them, one of them has a Facebook. Have you heard of OGJ Speed? Yeah, he'd be interested. He used to be a stuntman for. He used to be a. Oh, Trey is up in here.
Trey, trouble, and trouble.
What up, Trey? Yeah, so OG, he used to be a stuntman for Samuel Jackson and shit, and he used to be a boxer. He used to be a boxer too for amateur.
Yeah.
So, but now he doesn't like doing panels though. Just a heads up. He's only when I talked to him, he says he only wants to do one-on-one interviews. And I was thinking, Dr. Fizzerfrost would be perfect. So, if you want to, the best way to get him is through Facebook. J Speed.
Okay. J Speed.
J Speed, yeah. OG J.
You know it's gonna be 1,000 of them, don't it? So what's his what it look like?
Hold on. Let me give you the right one. It's gonna look like this on Facebook.
I can barely see it. I can see it a little bit. J Speed, all that close together, or J Speed separated?
No, it's separate.
J-A-Y?
Yeah, J-A-Y, then Speed. Okay. And on top, it should say lives in Los Angeles, California, 109 followers, actor, stuntman. And there's like a video of him with a lady too. Like literally you see it. And he has a picture of his studio, I think. And him in the background when he was younger too.
All right. Okay, I think say after. Okay, his picture is a keyboard with the
Yeah, if you click on the name, you see like this, a picture of him like this.
Okay.
See?
Oh yeah, okay. I got it.
Yeah, just tell him Hassan sent you. Yeah, he only likes doing interviews.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well,
I,
he'd be interested in
yeah,
talking.
yeah, I check that out. But you had anything to say about any others? Anything to add?
Well, yeah. Like again, you were cooking earlier. You were going off. The only thing the ad is Dr. Fizzer for us in America. We need to stop judging people what they work at. Let the man work. He works at McDonald's. Let's make it positive for him. What up? What up,
Trey,
Trey?
Trey in the building. What to do?
Oh yeah, and you have another one. You can interview
What's up,
Trey.
fellas?
What's
Oh
up?
yeah. I'm gonna have Trey set up in a minute. I had to get my schedule down right, so everything can come through perfect.
Man, what y'all doing up, part? Y'all always up late, man.
That I get off late, you know.
Oh, okay. Y'all
Yeah,
keep me up late, man. I appreciate it, man. It's always good, man, to hear some good words out there. Get people moving in a better direction, man. I applaud anybody doing that type of work, man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, got to get the word out, man, because it's hey the
Yeah.
it's a lot of fire burning out here, man. The people just oh, stay calm.
Mm-hmm. I feel you, man. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I've been blessed. What you speaking of now, I was speaking of 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah,
And seeing the growth for the young man. Most of them are probably, I think, shit. Well, you talking 2007, 8. Well, if you're in the 10th grade, you're probably, what, 30 now or something, 31 or 32. I don't know.
yeah, up in the 30s.
Yes. I don't know, man. Y'all young, man. I hope y'all can
Yeah, I just
see
try to come
some
over there.
progress.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, man. Just trying to get it out there, man. Hey, it's been a long journey, man, and one thing I can say is about the journey. It was a lovely journey. You know what I'm saying? Like it was lovely, man. Because I sat back and I watched. Excuse me. I look into the news. It'd be like, man, a 15-year-old just took out such and such, and now he's gone to jail for life. How many years they got
Mm-hmm.
on still like life because he's gonna miss out on about 20 years. Then you got people out here getting kidnapped and nobody ever see them again. Young cats. And most of them just get put in their graves. So I'd be like, this journey was a blessing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, so you have a testimony now, you know.
Oh
Also,
yeah, right.
and can't you look back now and realize your life wasn't as bad as you thought it was, but most of your misfortunes came from your own actions. Can you see how it like plays out?
Right. Accountability, man. Taking accountability, man, and realizing it. Then you have, like I said about acceptance, you have to accept that you messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to accept that, but don't get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Let that
Right.
motivate you. Use that to motivate you.
So
Yeah.
you saying think like a man and think like a woman because you took accountability and you understood once you took accountability, that sets the foundation for you to now elevate emotionally, physically. Everything changes once you stand in your accountability. No matter how sloppy, messy that shit look or it feel, but once you in it, you can now start climbing out of it and leaving that bullshit behind you. But,
Yep.
mm,
Yeah. It's all about just passing through, man. Passing through and learning. You got to learn and not overlook things. And I say a lot of people overlook as far as when I spoke about relationships, a lot of people overlook it. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll look at it, they'll look too far into the love or how they want to be loved instead of looking for what that relationship taught you. You know what I'm saying? What did you learn out of that relationship? Nobody looking at that. They ain't even looking at they missing it. So guess what? When they get into another relationship, it's same fucking shit happen. It's like you need to learn from this, you know, and it's not the next person's fault, it's what you allowed to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So stop
Mm-hmm.
pointing fingers. Stop pointing. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
stop that, you know. I just try to express that.
But bro, it's hard when a lot of times we come into our relationships leading with sex. It's hard. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We leading with sex, so sex is the only thing that's driving it. So we're not
Yeah.
having those in-depth conversations. We're not looking at red flags that can get us out of that situation sooner. We down there, you know, as a man, you're gonna try to rod the chick out. Then if she get pregnant, since you leading with sex, then you like, I ain't really invested in it. And then
Yeah.
she done gave you so much. You done put so much DNA up in her. Then once you step away, she's wide open. She's like wired to you for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's why I always say, man, the greatest conquer that a man, the greatest thing that a man can conquer is his lust. You know what I'm saying? If you can conquer your
Mm-hmm.
lust and take that out, like for me, for example, like I wasn't even lustful like talking about. Like I was always focused on the business, out and scratching out, reaching out, handling business until I got
Mm-hmm.
in-house. Till I got in-house sex. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then the woman just get the, she throwing it on you for the whole year. Then the second year it starts slowing up, and then it's eventually it start fading away, and then you're like, damn, okay, now we broke up, and I'm used to smashing two,
Mm-hmm.
3 times a week. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And now
You used to waking up in it, huh?
right, yeah, you wake up in it. You know what I'm saying? So, so once a man conquer lust, he got a high percentage of being successful. You know what I'm saying? If he got a purpose, he have a higher percentage of being successful. And I ain't just spoke, like I ain't had no topic on it yet, but I spoke on it from time to
Hey,
time a little bit.
hey, just that alone, this is a message not made for me and Hassan. What you just said, it's not made for us. It's
Right,
made for those younger folk. It's made,
right,
I know you said you had daughters. It's made for their ears.
right,
So I'm saying if you can find a way to put it in a activity form where it can be taught as a lesson to them, you hitting on gold because they'll be able to transition through adolescence and young adulthood not focused on sex. And
right,
they can see their greatness. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That'll be but if you got something right there, I'm telling you, if you can find a way to put
Yes,
that in an
sir.
activity or a lesson where people can actually see it, they can work through it, they can report on it, their situation in their individual lives, check in on it. You got something right there, man. I'm telling you, conquering lust. Shit, that's a fucking statement right there, man. That's a t-shirt for you, shit. I'm
Yes,
serious,
sir.
man, because that's probably the hardest thing. You think about it. That's probably the hardest thing for a man or woman, really, to conquer lust.
Right. Yep.
Very few people be celibate for life.
Right.
So that's something right there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you know anybody celibate personally? Because I don't. You know, I've seen them on YouTube, but I don't know no more. They be like, yeah, I ain't fucking none of this shit.
Nah,
No, no.
I can't call it. they
See what I'm
they
saying?
they legs open everywhere and meat slinging. So
That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah,
hard, man. That's against the nature. But if you can, and you know what I'm saying. And the thing about what you're saying is, it ain't so much just not doing it; it's being responsible in it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like you
responsibility
said,
play a lot of part of it too.
man. You got something. I'm telling you, man. You just don't. I don't know if you see it, but conquering lust, shit. I needed that shit when I was 16.
Man, I had it, man. I had that shit, man, like in the palm of my hands until I met that one that would shit and shit. That motherfucker was like, shit, I could be in here doing this right here. I could be in here doing this right here, shit, getting topped off. You feel me?
See, now see,
Like,
I ain't have it. I ain't have it at 16. I ain't had none. I ain't conquered none of that shit. That shit had me under control.
nah, at 16, I was about my business.
Shit.
Like, it didn't hit me till I was like 20, like I was 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't hit me till I was like 20, and I met this older. She was about 5 years older than me.
Oh
So
yeah, she
shit,
turned you out.
yeah, she was goddamn.
Put you out today. I
Yeah,
ain't mad, man.
so shit, it was crazy, man. But ever since then, it was like shit. That been a hard fight. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to conquer
Yes,
that
sir.
part, like fully. Like I got control of it, but I ain't got full control of it. You know what I'm saying? And I can admit
Man,
that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, yeah,
But here's the thing. How can really control it when you're in your grown man state and you still got full capacity strength? Your motherfucking man looking at you like, nigga, if we ain't out here conquering shit, nigga, you wasting my time. That motherfucker, you can't even roll over in the bed. You're like, oh shit, what the fuck? I was dreaming about airplanes and shit. You know what I'm saying? You drive in the car, like, so it's hard, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard.
right.
And shit, that's where a lot of young folk are today because that's all they see. They leading with that.
Oh
And then
yeah,
by the
yeah,
time they get your age, they burn out. Most of the motherfuckers be
yeah.
burnt out, man.
They throwing it straight in their face like every day. I can't even turn on all the networks getting polluted. Like I remember Facebook used to be script. Now they can
Yes. And then you
now
seeing that shit on Facebook.
it's on Facebook. It started
Oh
with
my
Twitter.
God.
Twitter like a porn site now. You scrolling up
Oh
and this
my
thing,
God.
they send you some recommendations or some shit. They be like, damn, motherfucker smashing on Twitter.
Oh my God. That's I thought that was just me. I
Yeah,
was looking at Facebook last week. I'm like, man,
yeah,
one chick just got her legs open and then her honey spot is just all wet spot. I'm like,
right.
really? This is fucking Facebook.
See-through dresses. See-through dresses. You can see, you can see the private part, but it's a see-through dress. But you can see the private part. Then you got Instagram are making no better because they always have naked on there. So
Oh, no, man. I ain't got
yeah,
no Insta. I just got a Facebook and I seen that shit. I was like, oh man, we fucked even more now. Because
yeah,
if
man,
they doing this on Facebook,
Well,
mm-mm.
TikTok
man,
too.
yeah. TikTok got a few things. Oh yeah, they
Mhm.
do. TikTok a little bit preserving, but it's still they find ways to get it in there.
Hey, hey, I ain't gonna let Hassan get away. Hassan,
What up?
man, 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 come on, man. I ain't know you was gonna shave it all the way off, man. You done got your military cut, man. You going in? You in? What
Yeah,
you-
he fresh over there. Huh?
yeah, you done shaved it all the way off, man.
He fresh.
Yeah, I shaved it today. No, I'm not in it
Like,
yet. Hopefully, I will. Still
oh,
trying to
okay.
work.
Wow, that looks crazy, man. Look like you just made some ghee rolls. You make ghee rolls. You making guy rolls, ghee rolls.
Yeah, he too
No,
fresh over there.
Yeah, I
You
know
yeah,
that
got
shit.
He ready to conquer some shit.
Because that's starting to
Oh
get
yeah.
crazy, you know. So you know, you got to get rid of it. Don't worry, it's gonna grow in 2-3 weeks. People didn't even know that was me. Everybody looked at me like, wait a minute, is that Hassan? Everybody, and the
Mhm.
panels I got on, people got confused. Almost got kicked out.
Oh man,
Shit.
dang.
Yeah. What you
But
got, man? What? Go ahead. I'm
like I
sorry.
was saying in America earlier, we need to stop making fun of people where they work at. Even if they work at McDonald's, let's make it sound good to them. Meaning, oh, you found a job, good for you. You can help with the bills. Now you have money in your pocket. You can go out and eat now at restaurants. You know, so
Yeah,
and if he moves up, good for him. If he goes to college, we can't hold everybody's hand forever, but
right.
encourage that person. Oh, you got a job, you got a job. Good for you. You you're making
Mm-hmm.
money, you know. But in America, most people they mock you. Oh, you work at McDonald's, and that's why everybody quitting and not working. Especially
Mm-hmm.
when the COVID happened, things went downhill. We got more lazy now. And people don't even want to go to 9 to 5 no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We went from bad to worse now. It feels like
Awesome.
literally like the Great Depression. Remember the Great Depression?
yeah.
Kind
That's
of
pretty much
stuff.
what we in depression mode now.
But
No,
again,
but
go ahead, Trey.
no, I was just picking up what you said. The people are creating this depression
Right.
because the young, like when I was a teenager, a restaurant job was for a teenager. Almost everybody in that working was under 21. The only person that might have been 21 was the manager. And now, unfortunately, a lot of people have accepted that type of mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about growing. People sort of accepted it and they got in the way of these young folk. Because now you go in there, everybody in there look like they in their late 20s, 30s and shit. Then I already have life problems and issues, and you don't get no customer service, and everybody disgruntled. And the young folk, they have no space. They have no space to go to. And when I was working, I don't understand how they complain. When I was fucking working, the minimum wage was fucking $3.35.
Damn.
Exactly. I was happy with my $130 a week when I worked my first full-time job at 19. I was balling.
Back then, hell yeah.
So I mean, but even compared to today, you know, with inflation, it's pretty much the same. It's just inflation. You know, people say
Right.
like, oh, no, it wasn't really not $100-some. It was about the same. It spread
Right.
about the same. It's just
That's what I say. The minimum wage go up, prices go up too. So it still be keeping you in the same spot.
the same spot. You ain't moving at all. Exactly.
Damn.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's like Rockefeller said. I don't want a nation. I want a nation of workers, not thinkers.
right.
That's
And look where we are. His voice at that time has continued across the America. Those tycoons, as they call them at that time, because I can tell you a quick story. I don't know. Y'all probably don't even know this man. Have y'all ever heard of George Pullman?
no.
Uh-uh.
Okay, so he's probably one of the greatest stories in America untold. George Pullman. He was a business. His family was a business. His family was in the business. So when he started becoming an adult, he broke out supplying supplies to the immigrants and the mine workers of the country, the people who worked in the mine. He supplied them with supplies. From there, and when he used to travel around the country in the train, he realized it was a fucked up ride. So what he did, he took the trains, like what you see in Amtrak today. He made luxury rail cars back in the day. You got to look it up, man. I'm talking about plush cars, the best materials. There was a gambling car, there were sleeping cars, there were dining cars, there were fucking drafting cars, man, you got to look at, man. And he built this factory in Chicago. He bought 5,000 acres. And what he did was he hired black people in the late, like 1895, 1900. He hired black people. And the only type of black people he hired were former slaves.
Mm.
Because he knew that they had the temperament to handle the racism that they would face traveling around the country.
Okay.
Now, the unique story about him, his home base office was in Chicago. The unique story about him that he employed over 20,000 people.
Dang.
More than half of them were black.
Mm.
In his town, he had the first indoor plumbing town. You could not drive a car. I mean, you couldn't bring your horse and buggy through the town. It's a whole town, man. I worked there. I worked there too in Chicago. So I'm telling y'all this.
Right.
So if you were black, you could not live there. Initially, you couldn't live there. But being black, you worked on the trains, so you could live anywhere in America. Because those Pullman trains, what he did was he bought out his competition, and people paid him to put his train cars on their tracks, like these big it was quite a few little rail corporations. And you could, if you worked at the factory, which only white people worked at the factory, you lived in his town, you had to pay him rent. But he took the rent out of the pay before he gave it to you. It was a what is it called? This when it was a dry town. He wouldn't allow his workers to work. Now, granted, he employed about 20,000 people. He wouldn't allow his workers to have alcohol. You had to go to the next little city town over, like in Chicago, the little neighborhood over, to get alcohol. If he caught your ass drinking, then they would fire you because he had people stationed throughout. If you got fired from the factory, you had to move out of the housing. If you couldn't work, your ass had to move. Yeah, see, his story's deep, man. I'm telling you. But those black people that worked for him, and you're talking 1800s, 1900, those motherfuckers was making anywhere between $60,000 and $85,000 back then.
Damn.
They were getting cash money. They were, if you gotta read the. I mean, the story is interesting. And look, he had 2 kids. I'm gonna tell you how crazy he was. He had 3 kids, really. He had 2 twin boys and a daughter. The twin boys, the mother was protective of them. She didn't want them to really work hard, and he ain't like them. He ain't like them at all. Because one of them was a drunk. One of them died on a horse accident. He got kicked in the head and he died by a horse.
Dang.
And the other one was an alcoholic. But when you look at him and you look at them boys, nigga, that was a DNA test. They wasn't his kids. They wasn't his kids.
Wow.
I'm telling you, they wasn't his kids, but because they, you know, you got a father and son, plus they growing up in the business, you think somebody go carry the lineage through the, they ain't do none of that shit. And his train was the train that Abraham Lincoln's body toured the country on. Because it was a plush train. Man, tell you, man, go look at it. You can just type it in. George Pullman, the Pullman Porters. You ever heard of the Pullman Porters? Those was black guys that worked on the train. If you ever see Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was working on the train, that was part of the Pullman Porters, man.
Okay.
And the whole,
I'm dumb as hell in history.
No, and even now, if you go to Chicago, go to Pullman. It's a neighborhood on the south side. And there and some people work there still know me, but that whole area is a federal grant. It's the last national monument in America. President Obama christened it as a national monument. It's all protected federal ground. And I was lucky enough to get a property on that ground because they went in and re-gutted out a lot of those brick buildings and renovated them, man, made them energy efficient. And they were cheap too, man. It's 2-bedroom basement, carport, nice central everything, bamboo floor. Man, I paid less than 80,000 for it. That motherfucker worth about 3 something now.
Man.
Yeah, man. So it's a deep story, man. It's a hell of a story. And people don't know that because he helped black people.
Yeah, they ain't gonna tell us the story. It's
Mhm.
not out there, but you have to be a reader and a researcher to find it. But I don't think they. I don't remember hearing nothing like that in school. Even though
No,
I ain't pay attention to history, but I know I don't think I heard that story.
I ain't heard it either. I didn't even know what shit. I found that shit out in my 40s. Like, what the fuck is he was doing all that? What? But
Hey, man,
and look,
man.
And look, it's the last thing. When he died, right? He understood it because see, when Abraham Lincoln, when they buried him, somebody came and dug Abraham Lincoln's body up. See, they don't tell you that shit. So when he died, this is what he did. He built a 12 by 12 foot hole, right? He poured 2 feet of concrete on the bottom. He put his casket in there. Then he laid railroad tracks over top of that. And then he filled the rest of it up with another, I don't know how many feet of concrete. And he left it unmarked for years. That's like had a little mark. It didn't have no headstone or nothing for years. Until he felt like, and he had already had it planned out in his will. And this is the one thing I didn't even tell you. He was the first person that created, remember vocational schools?
Yeah.
When you went, he did that. He did that. George, man, you wouldn't hear it. I'm like, this motherfucker did all that shit. He had welding, drafting, culinary arts, textiles. Man, he had all kinds of shit. That's how he trained his workers. That shit was crazy.
Damn. So he created the schools to train people to do construction work.
Yes, he did all that because those people worked on his ground. Man, he had 5,000 acres of property. That shit's deep. Okay, that shit's deep, man. And now they're round track. And as they evolved, they started doing, and then during the war, he transitioned over and started making ammunitions and shit, and all that for the war. And then he started getting it, as technology advanced, he made the Amtrak cars and all that. So, and then they finally stopped making trains in probably like 70 something. And then it burned it. Yeah, so it's story's deep, man. I'm like, damn, they ain't telling no motherfucker that shit in school. That should have been one of the first stories they told us.
Yeah, they hide what the Blackson did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Damn, for sure. He even starts selling guns and shit.
Yeah, well, they don't like, as far as the guns, they do it in secluded areas in the country. But as far as like making jeeps and tanks and amphibian water floating machines and shit that go on land and all that old shit, parts for the military and stuff like that. As far as all that old gun shit, they do that shit pretty much on secure installations out there in fucking Wyoming and Idaho and shit. They know people ain't going.
Damn.
So he was the Elon Musk of that time.
Yeah, he was the Elon Musk. Yeah, for sure, he was. It was a deep story, man. I'm telling you, man.
Damn, I wonder what happened. Did he have kids?
He had three kids, and both his boys didn't pan out for shit. And he had a daughter. His daughter ended up marrying Abraham Lincoln's son.
Oh, really?
The governor. Yeah, his daughter. Yeah, it's a deep. Hey, oh man, there's so much to his story, man. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, man. He was a ruthless businessman, but everything that he did set the precedent for things that we doing today.
Damn.
Oh man, he was crazy, man. He had a hotel on his property, man. They had a 70-room hotel, man. It was nice, man. If you worked there, if you lived there, you couldn't even go to the hotel to drink or nothing. I'm telling you, man, that motherfucker he was a gangster. But he's part of American history and they don't even show it. Because he helped out black people. He had over 11,000 black people working for him at one time.
But what state though? Philadelphia?
It's in Chicago. It's in Chicago.
Chicago.
It's on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah, they try to rip us out of history. You know how they do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
What they did was they put it in a book because they know motherfuckers ain't trying to pick up no book and read.
Yep. And they don't put but see, here's the crazy part about America's easy to figure out. They put the shit they want you to know as it pertains to the white culture in the school books.
Right.
Shit like him, you got to go to the library in a special section, and you don't know to ask about that shit. Like I said, I just found out about that shit in 2018. You don't know to go ask about that shit.
Right.
So it sits there go unnoticed until, but as far as this other bullshit, shit, and this shit ain't doing nothing but dummying motherfuckers down, man. Nobody trying to learn that shit, man.
Right.
Damn,
Why I say that? Why I say the knowledge? Go ahead, Hassan.
I was saying that's one story from Chicago. Imagine the other states and towns and cities and counties and other places,
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's a story. Even New York City Central Park, that's a hell of a story. The city of Oklahoma, when they talking about the Black Wall Street, it was 4 or 5 of them throughout the country. It was more than one, because that's all we had. We had to get it from.
Man, who's scratching the turntable?
That was me, man. I was messing with my earpiece.
You always doing something over there. Where the dog at?
I don't. Now dog's in the room sleep, man. She's been everybody.
Mine sleep too. I'm glad.
No, Troy, but you know what you just reminded me of is another story. When I went to Seattle, we did this tour museum or whatever. And then they showed us this guy. He used to be a chief of police in Seattle back 30, 50, 60 years ago, whatever. And guess what this motherfucker was doing too? He was the chief of police, and at the same time, he was the city drug dealer.
Damn, we gangster.
They're the biggest drug dealers though.
Oh yeah, they are.
I seen one day I was coming from work and I had to go somewhere downtown or whatever. I seen a truck, it was a truck parked in a little, in the parking spot. Another truck pulled up behind it, right? So a cop jumped out of the truck that parked behind. He parked behind the truck. The cop jumped out. He looked up under the truck. He looked up under the other truck and pulled and grabbed the box from under the truck, right? Jumped back in his truck and dipped. So the other cop, I didn't even know the cop was driving the truck till he came out. Like, what the fuck going on here? So I squat down in my chair, I get down because I don't want nobody to be, saying I'm a witness or nothing. So the other guy comes out and I find out that's a cop too. The first thing he did when he came out was look under his truck. The box was gone. He jumped in that motherfucking truck and oh shit, that had to be some dope.
Mm-hmm.
One cop stealing dope from the other.
Mm-hmm. Probably so, man. You probably it's good you knew to, don't be seen in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
That shit was crazy. Them be the big dope boys though, the fucking cops.
Oh yeah, for sure. I couldn't be it though.
Yeah, they don't play it in the movie for
nothing. Exactly.
Because they are the law. They know the law and they know the street and they know how to get around with it.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I couldn't be a cop either. I couldn't be a cop. I used to think, when you're young, like, man, I'll be a police. Then I used to think, I'll be crooked. I know I'll be crooked.
And that seems like that you either have to be crooked or they're gonna find a way to fuck you over down the line.
Yeah, you couldn't be that all 100% honest, and I know I'd be crooked, man. Because don't let me run up on $100,000 bus, man. Yeah, we found 60. We found
Okay.
40, 50.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I already
I'm just
know.
saying, man. I'm just
You
saying,
already
man. Look,
know.
you know how bros run and they throw their little stash over in their little alley. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. We found 10. That other 10 gonna be over in that dumpster over for later on when I send
Right.
look
Right.
my little cousin to ride through her and look, it's a green dumpster with the blue top. Get that shit. Get your ass around there. I
What,
mean,
what's crazy? Most of these stories that we tell, it sounds like from a movie scene, but they actually real
mhm,
life. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
yeah,
It's real out here, man. It's real. Like, man, I'm telling you,
sure is.
I got pulled over one time. Like, I was driving. The cop wasn't even chasing me, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? I just happened to see him coming from a mile away damn near. He coming fast though. You know what I'm saying? I see the light. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, shit, let me uh I didn't think I didn't think he was on me and then. So I was like, let me get over in the left lane since he in the right
Hmm.
lane. But when I got to the left lane, he got to the left lane. I'm like, man, what the fuck? So I sped up, you know what I'm saying? I sped up and I hit the first cone that I can hit, and I got the stuff in the shit in my shoe. You know what I'm saying? I like stuff in that shit. And so I pulled over, and by the time I pulled over, I'm in a fucking alley now. Cause I didn't got
Oh
stuck.
damn, boy.
I'm in the alley. So he get out and he was like, what you running for? I said, shit, I like shit, you scared the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was going about your business and you parked behind. I wasn't even after you. I said, that's why I got over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was like, get out the car. I got out and he put me in handcuffs. He pat me down and shit. Told me to sit in his car. Like shit, I'm finna search your car. Then he, it's supposed to ask you that before you even getting put in handcuffs and shit. But
Right.
yeah, he jumped out. He got to search my goddamn car and shit. Then he came back to his car while I was sitting in the back seat with the door open. He was like, where it at? I said, what you talking about? Where it at? I know you got it. I'm like, what you talking about? He like, I seen when you were doing it. When you were doing this right here, you was reaching. You know what he said? I seen when you were doing this right here, you were reaching. Where? I'm like, bro, I don't even know what you talking about. And then he went back to my car, looked one more time. And by the time he was walking back to me, another cop pulled up. He was like, let him go. Shit, he let my ass go. And then I'm like, what the fuck was that all about? Then they asked me for no driver's
Hmm.
license, registration, or nothing. You know?
No,
He just,
no.
oh yeah, this is what he said. This is what he said after he asked me where it was a couple times. He was like, all I want is the dope. Hey, it was crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys heard
Damn.
this story. But it was last year. They found out the L.A. Sheriff County. They have their own little gang, robbing motherfuckers, shooting motherfuckers.
Hmm.
Sheriff. And there was another story. There was a police officer for 30 years dedicated and shit. And this motherfucker was robbing 3 different states, people's houses, jewelry stores.
Damn.
Like, God. And he's a police. He's going like he's a professional thief, going to people's 3 different states. They caught him last year. It's like, God
Damn.
damn.
Hassan, I don't know where you were in the early 90s, but Tupac, the rapper Tupac, used to talk about it in his rhymes, how crooked the police were.
Right.
And, you know, uh, uh, all of a sudden, he's murdered, and it goes unsolved.
Right.
And the way he was murdered, to me, and I don't know. I guess if you have, that's just like, okay. Do you know about Tupac Hassan? You know his story?
Yeah. He got gotten down in Las
But
Vegas.
think about it. If me and you in a car together and somebody pull up and they just start blasting, you gonna get more than a fucking nick in your fucking forehead. That's all I got to say.
Mm.
It they, I don't know, man. Then it goes unsolved, and you in Vegas after a fight, traffic is moving fucking slow.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Right.
make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Some shit just don't.
And
I
especially
don't know.
when you're on the strip too.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. You ain't speeding through the strip. You know what I'm saying? But again,
that was a crazy case right there, man.
But Tupac had too many run-ins with the law. He shot at the police. He didn't back down. He got off cases, and they said stuff like that.
And speaking of Tupac, he always say, you know what the COs in New York, the COs, you know what they told him? We are the biggest gang in the world. That's the CO in New York. So you think about it. So there's the police, there's the COs, there's the sheriff, the state troopers. Well, some states call them state police. You have the highway, but you have the FBI, the DEA. You know Sammy the Bull, the mafia guy, the underboss. Sammy the Bull. You heard of him? Yeah. He said when you look at these Hollywood, FBI, CIA, police, it's like the own little mafia family. Just they're like mafias, but with the law backing them. They know how to manipulate the law and stuff. They're no different. True. Yeah, they're no different than any mob or cartel or anything.
That's true. Because Hassan, the greatest miracle pulled off is how in the fuck we can get tons of crack cocaine in our neighborhoods, and ain't nobody got no fucking boat, ain't nobody got no fucking airplane, ain't nobody got none of that shit. And tons of that shit. Shit was just showing up. They starting to bring those documentaries out now, how they were just dumping guns on the corner, dumping fucking dope and shit.
Dump it in the alleyway.
Come on, man. What you think a bunch of right? It doesn't make sense to me.
But rappers used to talk about that. When I first heard it, I said, this can't be. And I showed my friend. He started like rappers. They literally every morning in the corner there's a box full of guns. Like, God damn. Then
that's how they got on the streets.
But after a while, one person, two people. Wait a minute, this. Okay, maybe the first person say, okay, maybe he's making shit up, he's lying. But after 20, 50, 100, wait a minute, this something ain't right. They can't be all lying, you know.
And it was happening all. Yeah, it was all over the country too. Every major city had that shit happen.
But now the question becomes, do they do that to the white people though, or is it only black communities?
Of course not. Only white people, Hassan. I mean, only black people. They don't do it to white people. They don't. They don't do it because one thing you never see you see it, but it's only when somebody's dog or something, somebody got a drunken, disorderly conduct. You never see the fucking trailer parks when it comes to white people in the news. When somebody's dog get kidnapped, they find a dog or somebody disorderly. That's it. You never see that shit because they don't want nobody to see that shit. They know.
But you know what else I noticed too? When a white man does a crime, either he's mentally ill or they show his neighbor, oh, he was a loving, caring person. He gave me a hug like 2 days ago. Now that was you. that was you and me. Oh, he's a gangster. He's in a Crip or Blood. He's in a Qaeda. Like, what the fuck? I could have gave that neighbor a hug two days ago. How can I can be? Like, goddamn. And people need to catch on. Even if people need to catch on to stuff.
That's true, man. That's the scary part, man.
They get a blacks more of a dangerous outlook, like we that dangerous. We all the same type of crap and this and that, but people starting to wake up and realizing not all of us. It's not all of us, you know what I'm saying? They see me work every day, you know what I'm saying? So they know I'm not in the picture, but it's like they still have to be careful because there's some thugs out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some thugs are working too. So
they're working, brother.
When I was at Subway and I still work at Subway, me in the white area, me and this white man had a conversation. Well, I tell me, you need to stop looking at us all like thieves and murders. I'm talking about colored people, right?
Right.
And so we don't do the same thing to you guys. Do we say all of you are KKK or Nazis? So you guys need to stop doing that shit to us. And it's getting annoying, you know. If you keep asking for trouble, you're gonna get it, you know. Just
Yeah.
stop messing with people. Because eventually,
Hassan,
what up, Trey?
that'll never happen.
I know.
That'll never happen.
And then and this old man was telling me, well, how do we fix the poor problem? I say, well, sadly, the poor are gonna get fucked over. Simple as that. Even if a guy comes with a plan, yes, motherfuckers gonna have a job, but how long are they gonna last? 3 years, 5 years? Long term, they're gonna get screwed over. The poor,
Mm-hmm.
and he could never understand. Like, what do you mean? I say, you live in large here. You live in comfortably, Mister. Have you driven to the other side of the town? This one lady we know for 20 years. She's a Republican, but she's a nice lady. She lives in the rich area, right? When she started coming here and seeing the homeless, she her mind was blown. Like, what the fuck is it? Am I in America? I started laughing. I said, hey, welcome to reality. We got her out of the little box. Hey, you see, people going through hell. Not everybody living comfortable like you guys. So,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
well, it is what it is. But those people out there, those living fancy, they cannot relate to us. No matter how hard we scream, protest, riot, because we're looking at it one way, they're looking at another way. And even the people that came from us and went up there, they don't want to screw that up. They say, no, I can't speak out. And people have spoken up, and look what happened to them. Tupac,
Mm.
Kanye, and the list goes on. Black,
Yeah.
brown, even white people got deleted. That's spoken
Right.
on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It don't even matter when you up in that stage.
yeah. So you got to keep your mouth shut. And then again, at the same time, you can't blame them. Like I did what I did. It is, but now I'm living comfortable. I'm not gonna screw this up with nobody.
Yeah. But some
And
people
so,
got some people have guilty conscience. That's why they speak out on it.
yeah,
It be eating them
absolutely.
up inside. It eat them up, man.
But you got to choose. That's the contract you sign. Once you
Right.
sign it,
Right.
that's the life. Trey picked the military life. That's what he
Right.
signed for. Either you go to war, you're gonna hear shit like, wait, what? He's gonna see stuff. You're probably not even allowed to say. You know, he either you sign or you got drafted. That's the world. You join a game. I want to join a game. What the fuck I'm gonna expect? I can't just tell them, hey, I want to party and look cool and hold a gun. No, you gotta participate when the time comes. You got the
Shut up.
cops on. You got the cops on you. You got the other gang looking for you. So you got to be on the lookout 24/7. It is what it is. That's the life that I chose. You know. So that when you do something, there's consequences to this. Some people learn, some people don't, and some gangsters they probably spend 20 years in the game. Maybe the others will respect him. Okay, you've done enough. OG, get your life together. You have a wife and kids. You move on. Some, not all. But
Yeah, Hassan. You
but
you
doesn't
you being nice with that. Ain't no retirement plan in that shit.
but it depends. Because some gangsters get lucky, but it doesn't mean the law is done with you. Doesn't mean the other gang rival is done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Depends,
Mm.
you know. Doesn't mean you might get lucky with your own gang because some do get lucky like that. Yeah. Not everybody, but doesn't
Yeah,
mean the
you
other side. Doesn't mean the other side is done. So that's the life you pick. That's the consequence that comes with it.
Yeah. You got consequences behind that shit. You got to
Yeah,
stand on
mm-hmm.
it.
you work with the government, military, even if you don't see like JT like to say, not a lot of them see war. True, but he's in a different world than the average person. He sees things, he hears stuff that me and you probably never been hear and understand what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep that hush hush. You know,
Right.
some talk about
Yeah,
it, some don't. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I think a way to sort of deter a lot of this crazy shit that we see. I think coming out of high school, this is me. You need to be enrolled in a college and up out of this motherfucker in August or that same August. Your ass need to be joining one of these military branches for 2 years minimum. Motherfucker, matter of fact, from 18 to 21. From 18 to 21. 21, you can make a decision. You want to stay in, cool. If not, get your ass out. Find your ass something to do. But you're not gonna continue to just think you're gonna be out here wreaking havoc on the goddamn everyday citizen trying to just make a living and find a way. Hell no. Do something with that shit.
Yeah, they got to find something to do.
Since you're a military man, tell me if you agree with this or disagree, or you have your own. So what I tell my friend when people join the military, it doesn't matter what branch or anywhere in the world, right? When they get out, they have either these 5 or 6 options. That's how military people end up. 1, some just stay in the military. That's their career. 2, they get out, they open a big business. They get into business, small business, good for them. 3, they join other branches of government, FBI, police, and intelligence, so on and so forth. 4, they either work for a mercenary or become an assassin. 5, they go join a gang or create their own gang. 6, they just delete themselves. They seen too much, they're freaking out. So that's the 6th path for a former any soldier is going to take. Or 7, he can have like a regular job and stay quiet. He doesn't want to speak on it. He's happy with his little Walmart, Kmart, or McDonald's, and he's just fuck this. It is what it is. So I just named 7 paths for former military. Do you agree with that or no? Because that's how I look at it.
I'm in the middle with that because 1, when people join the Marines is basically training you to be a controlled assassin. The Marines, their mission is battle for the most part. They training everybody in there. What is it? Center mass. Center mass meaning when you point your weapon, that's where that motherfucker go hit. 3 shot center mass. So the Marines, yes. Air Force, not everybody. It's a lot of Air Force. Like the Air Force, you got their special force. Everybody got their special force. What is it? You got special forces. You got Army Rangers. You got the Marine. I don't know what they call. All of them got their little special elite units. But like far as the Air Force, most of them motherfuckers is working on supplies and, they ain't out in the trenches too much. The Air Force. Navy, not everybody is, using weapons all the time. They hardly ever go to the range, but they on them ships. I had a cousin who was a combat cameraman, and I met him. Well, I didn't know it, but I saw him in Saudi Arabia, and I hung out with him. And he was a Navy man, but he had spent his last 3 or 4 years. He was on land taking pictures of the battle. So he's one of those guys that you see. And he was showing me pictures, man, of dismangled bodies. And one of his biggest things he needed for 5 or 10 years after he got out was therapy to deal with that trauma that he experienced.
Special warfare.
Right.
Now, that's the Air Force Special Forces name. Special Warfare.
What's it called?
Right here, Special Warfare.
Okay. Yeah. See, everybody got their special. Now, those guys, they train to kill. Now, those guys can go off into those other segments, like you said, create their own little, the stuff you see like on TV when they calling up their squad, like, all right, fellas, we gotta go on this mission. Those type of guys, yes, because they're trained for that.
They be like 5 deep, taking out the whole army.
Yeah. See, they train for that. Like me, old regular army ass dude. If I'm, you know, I can go build you a little place to stay because I was in construction engineering, and I can, do all that type of shit. And I'm going to the range twice a year, every 6 months, and I can go. And if I need to, I can protect my little post. I can shoot your ass on the run. I can do all that. But as far as like going through that trenches and shit and being incognito and laying out in the motherfucking sun with my disguise, I ain't gonna do. I can't do all that.
Hey, them boy train hard.
Yes, that's why it's elite. And sometimes it be 300 or 400 guys starting out, but it might be like 4 or 5 guys that finish. But when those guys get out, now here's the guys that make a lot of money, and people don't really ever think about this. You have if you go like the guys that you see playing football, like the Army team and the Navy and Air Force football teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
You play 4 years, you get to play sports. But after you finish those 4 years, you go and serve in the military as an officer or whatever. But when those guys get out after those 8 years, those are the guys that are making over $100,000, 140, working for the government, doing those guys. And the unique thing about West Point, it's called West Point. The unique thing about West Point is free. It doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost you a thing. So if you got 8 years, y'all know anybody that's looking, if they got 8 years, shit, they can give up those 8 years, they can come out making $130,000, $140,000 a year.
Damn.
But no, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is worldwide thing. When people get out of the military, this is like their future, like one of those 7. Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know about other countries, because other countries sometimes you're required to go serve, and once you do that, yes, the government sets you up in those nice positions, whichever they need you. But America, you got too much freedom. That's why you can listen. If y'all ever hear of a veteran, if a guy says he's a veteran, right?
Yeah.
And he's not taking advantage of the services that are offered to veterans, he got a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And those will like I'm saying, like those the ones who end up in a gang or create their own little gang, or they just start robbing motherfuckers, or just deleting themselves.
Yeah. He's got a dishonorable discharge because the one thing about veterans in America, if you hurt your fucking pinky, you can get money from that for the rest of your life.
Damn.
You can get housing if you're homeless. You can get all this stuff. They support. They have what they call stand downs. Stand downs. I know they had them in Chicago and Indiana, northern part of Indiana, where a soldier, somebody who used to be a soldier, they have all of these fucking resources there. When I went a few times. When I went to Chicago, I right now in my basement, I got 4 military grade backpacks filled with military supplies, from boots to sleeping bags, poncho.
You still got some army food, the food that you just put water in the bag.
The MRE. No, but I used to think about buying some. But an MRE, if you look up a box of MRE today, that motherfuckers are probably $200.
Man, just put water in the bag, food cook. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man, listen, the best way to make it, when I learned, because when you in basic training, you eating that shit hot, cold and shit. But the best way I learned how to make it is when I was in the Gulf War. We take hot water and throw those bags in the hot water, let that shit sit in there about 5 or 10 minutes.
and the food warm.
Shit, boy, that shit be warm. Boy, you crumble them little crackers up in that shit, boy. Shit.
I had that shit one time. They made her eat. They let her eat some. We went to the we on a field trip,
Okay.
and I went on the fucking marine boat, man. This motherfucker was like, this motherfucker was big, like shit. We had like 10 fucking classes. Everybody walking on this big ass fucking ship. Like,
yeah.
Man, then we had to eat that little food. They give us the food and shit. Like just put water. I think we'll put water in the bag or something, and it just motherfucker blow up, and then your food just cut the bag open and eat. Like, God, what the fuck is this? And that was way back when I was in school. I'm pretty sure they got advanced now.
No, it's pretty much the same, man. They give you, like, I went to a little training about 2 years ago, and the only thing different is like it's better desserts and shit. Like you put it in the fruit. I remember you put the little water in the fruit and shit and stir it up and shit. But yeah, it's all the same, man. It's just a better it's more variety of it. Yeah, it's just a bigger variety. Now they put chewing gum in the motherfucker and all that old bullshit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Y'all young folk need to experience that, man. Hassan, man, you need to go and get you some training in. Like I did air assault is when you see the commercial when they used to propel out of the helicopter and shit. I did that. That's a hard. We had to do 12 miles in 3 hours with a 50-pound pack on our back with our weapon. I did mine in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Damn.
You know, I was chilling, man. I was on cruise control. I wasn't gonna try to run that shit. I was like, shit, I know I'm gonna make it. So
salute, Wally. Join the conversation, Wally.
I said, what up, Wally?
Hey, Trey, as a former veteran, what do you think about all these militias and rebel groups that are going on?
I mean, this goes to show first of all, the overflow of people who served. And because I'm gonna tell you, when you join the military and you go into these guys that go into these combat zones and go do all of these special operations and shit, almost every guy that went into the military, you come back to the United States, you fucking woke. You like, oh, this is bullshit over here in the United States. Most of them come back. I'm telling you, every guy I see on YouTube, there's a lot of guys be talking about their military. Them motherfuckers talk totally different from somebody who never went.
Well,
they like
Trey, and then you can say for the same thing that people that join government, police, gangs, go to prison, they're awake. But it's not the same as military for prisoners, but that's another world, like in the gang life, like whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Some of the hierarchies is, in the military, you have to be disciplined because let's just say you're in the military. And once you get out of basic training and AIT is Army Intensive Training, meaning instead of you go to college, you're going to get some on-the-job training. And the way the military works is, regardless of whatever job you take in the military, let's just say plumbing. So I go in, I do everybody's basic training is the same. We all running and jumping and shooting and climbing and getting wet and doing all that dumb shit, marching in the rain. We doing all that shit, army shit. Yeah. But then we go to when we go to learn plumbing, let's say we all went to plumbing. And I'm the slow one out of the group. They're going to put us in a classroom. They're going to say, okay, we're going to go through chapters 1 through 4. We're going to study chapters 1 through 4. Because in the Army, your ass go from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock every day. So from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we're going to sit in the classroom and study the book. From 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we're going to go outside and we're going to work on everything we just read. You're going to work on everything plumbing. You ain't going to just keep going in the book like college. That's what makes the military different from college. We're going to go do hands-on plumbing. You're going to be like, damn, I'm learning how to fucking put a sink in my second day. Right, and here's the thing. Every day they're going to test you. And let's just say again, I'm the slow one. I failed a test. Y'all pass. I failed it. Guess what they gonna do? They gonna take my ass right back in that room and they gonna retrain me some more. And then they gonna say, okay, come back out here and do it. And they'll keep doing that shit until you pass it. And then they'll move you on to the next phase, the next phase, the next phase. That's why most people that join the military, they have a hiring preference over somebody who did not. I went to college.
Yeah,
because they know that person. Yeah. It's a unique. If you do the right thing, man, the military ain't nothing but a long ass football practice. That's it. That's all it is, motherfuckers. Because the drill sergeant done shit. Them motherfuckers yell at you when training, but they always telling you, look, you rather have me yelling at you or the enemy catching your ass and torturing your ass. You make your choice.
Right.
So I just used to be like, it wasn't nothing to me, man. I went to college. I tried that. It was all good. They took my scholarship for football because it hurt my knee. And then I found myself working for about a year. I'm like, this shit ain't working. And I had a friend, he running from the police. He joined the service. And I didn't know though. So I joined. And in 90 days, I was gone. And man, my drill sergeants was some of my best friends when I left. Right. I'm telling you, man, you learn. It's a lot that you learn. And once you get to your regular duty station, like after you get out of basic training, they give you, after you get out of basic training in school, when you get out of your school, like when you go from basic training usually about 8 to 10, it's 10 weeks. So after the 10 weeks, that same day, after you graduate basic training, they fly you to your station. Whether you're going to Florida, New York, Texas, California, wherever, they fly you there, right? And then you learn the school. That's when you learn in your AIT, your school. You're going to do that for 10 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, a year. The longest ones, I think, is 13 months. But then after you get out of there, they give you 10 days to get to your duty station. They give you 10 days. So you got 10 days of vacation to chill, do whatever. And it's paid on government time. So in the meantime, between basic training and the end of your AIT, you done racked up about 10 grand sitting in the bank because you can't spend that shit.
That's real. Yeah. Coming out of high school just to go on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, oh my God, yes, that's what I'm saying. And then, let's just say you want to be a firefighter. I know in 2022 they were giving $30,000 bonuses for dudes that wanted to be a firefighter in the military. So after you finish your basic training at AIT and you got to your duty station, after you done already saved up your little 10 grand, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna drop 15 of it because you're gonna get half of it after that. And then you get the other half, like the next year, you get another third. And then when you, like, say you want to get out, they'll give you the end, but they're going to give it to you after 3 years. You done got that 30,000. It's a win-win, man. That's why I say guys that's a good guy, they don't know what the fuck they want to do, and they don't really want to get out here and work. I always say, go to the military, get those fucking skills, because they're going to give you all the skills you want. And then when you get out, like today, like this is what they did for me. I got out of the military in 1997. That's how long ago it was. They paid for me to go back to school. I graduated Mississippi State in 2001. They paid for everything. Fucking gave me computer. Fucking gave me I was getting $600 a month from the military, and they paid for all my school. They paid for all my school. Today, and today, they give you $1,400. They pay tuition and books. And you still can get all your financial aid. So if you get a Pell Grant for $3,000-$4,000, that's yours twice a year. That's your money. You ain't got to pay it back.
It's just sticking to it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stick to it and want to goddamn accomplish that shit. Because some motherfuckers just drop out and don't get nothing in return. You know,
exactly.
They don't take advantage of the benefits or nothing. I know my dad was in the military.
Yes.
I don't know what class he was in or whatever, but I guess he dropped out early or something, and had to end up working a basic job after that.
Is your dad still alive?
Nah, he passed 2 years ago.
Okay,
COVID.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all
I'm
good.
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My father just passed this year we buried it. We laid him to rest on the 19th of January. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And my father avoided the VA for so long. I was like, Daddy, go to the VA. Cause he's like, no, because the VA sent his ass to AA back in the day. Shit, my dad was in the fucking 60s.
He was in
I'm
military.
like, yeah, but when he used to tell me I need to go, I'm like, man, I'm not joining no military. You crazy? Man, I used to run from the recruiter in high school. No, but I went. I was prepared for it. It was so easy, man. I went to Saudi Arabia within the first 6 months. I got a leadership award coming out of AIT, my school. They sent me to a elite unit, and I was in Saudi Arabia 6 months. I didn't carry my weapon. I was downtown Riyadh every day. I worked 1 day on and 3 days off. That's how they had us working. 1 day on, 3 days. I could sleep on the job.
That sounds like a win,
Man,
man. Sound
oh
like a
my
win.
God.
As long as you're being dedicated to what you're doing, then you gotta think about it. Like you gotta think about it. If you join the military when you get out of high school, you do the 3-year basic training, then you get out, go to school, and take advantage of the benefits that they have for you. Shit, by the time you 30, you set.
You set, brother. See, the white guys, they take advantage of it. And then let's just say you join the military and you fucking hurt your ankle. You sprain your ankle and you got to go to the doctor. All that goes in your medical records. When you get out of the military, you start having problems with your ankle. You file a VA claim. They're going to be like, oh, you got hurt while you was in the military? Well, here, we're going to give you 40% disability. 40% disability at $130 a fucking month. 40%. Every 10% is $130. So if you're getting 40%,
because I did what I heard. I did what I heard, Trey.
okay,
On some more shit. Like they don't take care of the guys that used to be in the force and all this. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know because I don't really know too many people. I did know one guy, but he was, he admitted to his mistakes and that he fucked their own self up. You know
there you go.
I ain't even met too many others, So but I just heard like they don't really get them jobs. They don't make sure they sprayed. They must do the right shit then.
Right, but see, like I said, a guy that say he's a veteran and doesn't take advantage of it, he has a dishonorable discharge. Meaning you could not adapt or you did something so egregious where the army just kicked you out and said, man, we can't even fuck with you no more.
Right.
It's a different because you can get Article 15. Article 15 mean like I got 2 Article 15s. I had one, a nigga that I had in basic training. This nigga had a calling card back in the day. And once you get a calling card in the service, you give that motherfucker out to everybody blowing it up. He got caught. I went to Saudi Arabia. He turned in my name and a couple other dudes. I come back from Saudi Arabia. They talking about, man, we got to take your rank. Because I got promoted twice over that motherfucker.
Hey,
so when I got back,
everybody going down.
Yeah. But then I got my rank back. Nothing came of it. Everything was good. Then when I went to when I was an E4, I was smoking weed, I had my little, I was doing we were down to El Paso, Texas, down there by Juarez, Mexico. We was getting that ooh weed, man. They was ooh weed.
Right.
And then there's like, okay, you got caught, we're gonna bust you down a rank. And then we're going to take your money for 2 months. So for 2 months, I got paid at a lesser rank and I had to do some special shit. But then I got my rank right back and I still got I got 2 honorable discharges. And I'm a disabled veteran. So that's what I'm saying. I tell you, if you go in and get hurt, yes, sir.
It's like you fuck up, they drop you down the rank, take your benefit pay and all that shit, then make you work for it again. That's self-discipline too.
Yes, and that shit taught me self-discipline. I'm like, I ain't fucking up no more. But then some guys, when they get out, like I'm tell you what some motherfuckers did when I was in Louisiana. Now, this was the craziest shit ever. Young niggas too. These motherfuckers about 19, 20. A white dude and a black dude, they became friends.
Mm.
The white dude had a sawed-off shotgun. He used to always walk around outside with his fucking sawed-off. Damn sawed-off. So the white dude and the black dude went to the white dude's hometown. These motherfuckers tried to rob a bank
Oh,
with the
really?
sawed-off. Yes. So guess what happened? This is how the military get your ass. They found out they were soldiers. The military locked them up, sent them to Fort Leavenworth. That's in Kansas.
Mm.
Now, when you in prison in the military, you still in the military.
Right.
Your ass still getting up at 4:30. Your ass still going out to work. You still doing all that shit. Even if your ass got to clean the bathroom with a toothbrush or fucking, I want you to take this pile of rocks and move it over here and make another pile of rocks. That's the type of shit they do to you.
Damn.
Oh, I
These
didn't know.
motherfuckers got, yeah, they got 15 years apiece.
Mm.
And then when they get out, they're going to have a dishonorable discharge.
Damn.
They
Still no
fuck
benefits.
themselves. No benefits. None. No
That's
benefits.
crazy.
Because
You trying to rob? You in the
yeah,
army and you trying to rob a bank? That's crazy.
come on, man. The army get paid first. I don't care if nobody else in the country get paid. Them motherfuckers get paid first.
Damn.
They gonna
Wow.
get paid first. Oh man, it was crazy, man. One thing about if you ever get a chance, like I don't know where y'all live at, but man, military bases got everything.
I
I'm
can
trying to
probably
get some work done in my basement.
Well, Trey,
Yeah.
there's two stories I want to tell. But before I tell the story, what was your rank? Were you sergeant or lieutenant?
Oh man, I was a specialist, man. Cause I got hurt. I spent my last 2 years in the service on injured reserve. That's how I got out. I got on disability, so I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't get promoted.
Yeah.
Once I
So,
went to the Gulf War, yeah, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead. The Gulf War. That seems
Yeah, once I went to the Gulf War, I was sort of untouchable. Because what happened was the Army had, at that time, it was a lot of people in the service. So after the Gulf War, which of course motherfuckers didn't want to go. So after they got back, they said, okay, we're going to give all y'all severance pay. If you this rank, we're going to give you $15,000, $20,000. Y'all get the fuck out. So a lot of people got out. And then I reclassed and I was on my way because I was like, man, I was going to be all Army. I was going to do all it because I went to weapons school. I went to sergeant school. I did everything. I went to truck driving school. I went to air assault school. So I was right on track. But then I got hurt. I got hurt in 94 and I still had 2.5 years to go. Man, I ended up having back surgery in 95. So I couldn't stay in. So they're like, man, look, we're gonna go and give you 15,000. You're gonna get out with your honorable discharge. And then when you get out, you apply for disability and then you get it. So now I get like 2,000 over two grand a month for disability. And I can still work a full-time job if I wanted to, but I'm retired now. And they pay for my school at the time. And this past year, 2022 to 2023, they were offering veterans. They said, if you lost your job due to COVID, they sent me to website design school at DeVry and they paid for it and gave me $900 a month.
Damn.
They paid for the whole class, over $20,000. They paid for it. I have no bill.
Paid for the class and paid you.
Yeah, they paid for the whole thing. Now here's the thing: if I would have been going to a campus like this, because I used to live in Chicago, if my ass would have been staying, if I would have stayed in Chicago, I would have went to campus. But since I wasn't there no more, everything was online. So they gave me $900 some dollars. If I would have been going to the campus, I would have got $1,600.
Damn.
Yeah, see, that's why I say, man, shit, you young, man, you don't know what the fuck to do. Take your ass to the military and let that shit work you out.
You just
Give you some self-discipline.
You just reminded me of two stories, Trey. One, here in America, my dad's friend, he joined the National Guard, and this motherfucker was getting good benefits, but I forget what his job was though. But this motherfucker had a card only for gas to spend on his gas. Like, god damn, and he's only
Mm-hmm.
National Guard. I said, well, my dad was surprised. Now he's showing like he was getting his
Mm-hmm.
benefit, and he was talking about I'm getting this discounts. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
you know. And the other story, he said those two guys trying to rob a bank, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In Iraq, what happened is another of my dad's friends, and they both were. I think they were one army, and the other was Republican Guard. But in the 90s, they robbed a bank in Iraq. They got away with it, but one of them got captured. He got fucked up real bad, but
Mm-hmm.
he died like a year or two later. But the other brother, he took that money and took off. And then he went to Jordan, came to America, opened 2-3 businesses, lived in Louisiana. He just passed away 3-4 years ago. Like, God damn.
I'm sorry. So you mean tell me he done did some old nigga shit and done robbed the bank and got out of Dodge, and now he done came here and opened up a business? Oh hell.
Yeah. That motherfucker got away with it too. Well, didn't get away. They still fucked him up, but they didn't get the money. And they said, "Oh, he said it wasn't me." So he knew how to act, and he was a Republican Guard, so he's trained military man. And his brother was a regular army as well, so they were both trained, so they knew how to operate and how to do it. Like, God damn.
Do y'all know the story of Saddam Hussein?
Well, of course. I do.
Yeah, but he was backed by America.
Yeah. In the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, and he tried to overthrow the government one time, but it failed. He dressed up as a woman to overthrow the Saudi government, and it failed. So he went somewhere for about 7-8 years. And while he was there, he was getting the backing of America, because America set him up. They set him up to overthrow the government, but it failed. So he went away for about 7 years, and then America built him up, and then he came back and he just overthrew the government. Like, fuck y'all, I'm taking over.
Because those 7 years, he went to Egypt. He went to study in Egypt to get his degree in college and shit. But in the 50s, he started as an assassin, as a hitman first. Then he became a professional assassin. Like deleting people.
Shit. 007.
Yeah.
Agent 41, 51, agent, whatever that is, on Hitman.
Yeah, 007. But he had the backing of America. America is probably the most cynical country in the world, because they go to, like, Iran and Iraq, they was always fighting. But America would go to one country and say, look, they over here talking stupid. They gonna do this. Then they go to the other country, look, they gonna do this and that. And America backing both of them. And they got smart. They got smart. That's why with Russia, listen, y'all never see America fight Russia in y'all lifetime, ever.
Ain't that what we just witnessed Joe Biden do?
No, he ain't.
He gave one of these countries some money, then they attack the other country, then he get the other country some money.
Yeah, exactly. The over in Gaza, over in Israel.
No, Dr. Phil, you're missing the point. But Russia's not getting into you. They try to avoid nuclear war.
Yeah, they ain't gonna never happen. America's never fought Russia in a war. Never. We couldn't, if we went hand-to-hand combat right now, meaning even with the technology, they just start pushing buttons and launching missiles and all that shit. Eventually it was gonna come down to hand-to-hand. Now my question is to both of you is, are both of y'all going to join and say, I support America? Y'all gonna put on your butt sack and get your weapons and go out there and hit a moving target?
Shit, that's only if you're back to the wall.
Yeah, see?
By force.
There you go, by force.
That's it.
And most young men, I don't know that I've asked this question. Like younger guys, they like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit. But they gotta still understand America's still going to enforce his laws that if you don't join the service that they call on your ass, that's treason.
You
That's
going to prison.
punishable by hanging. Oh, they go, yeah, he going to prison or hanging because they still got that on. That's still in the law.
Right.
So,
Oh hell no.
yeah, it's punishable by hanging.
I'd rather be out here fighting for my freedom than stuck in a jail with a bunch of hoodlums.
Exactly. See, I don't need to get close to the president because I'm gonna ask him for two things. One, Mr. President, take the heroin and crack off the streets. Take it off the streets. Just take that fucking shit off the streets. And then won't y'all see about sending some of these hard ass criminals over to the front line?
Right.
Shit. If you can do 5 years over here.
Some of them do want to be free, and some of them will get out there on that field to be free.
Exactly. If you want to come back in society, go on over here and run across this sand dune and get your ass shot at for a while. And if you make it back, we got a nice little village for your ass to live at. Put all them motherfuckers over in the little village.
Trey, I need your opinion on me and this one dude. We went back and forth about him, man, and Assassin. He was saying they're the same. I'm saying they're a little bit different. Him, man, anybody, he has $500, go delete him. And Assassin, he only goes for the higher ups, like governors, presidents, mayors, presidents, kings, stuff like that, generals. Do you agree with that or no?
Oh shit, you can get a hitman for $400 off the street. Somebody put a head on. An assassin.
They pretty much in a different level.
Yeah. That's what Yeah,
because assassin, he gonna calculate. He gonna be calculated. He gonna study your ass and watch your movements and shit.
Right.
When he hit you, ain't gonna be no witnesses. Ain't nobody gonna hear nothing. Man, none. So
yeah, but you know, there's a lot of things out there. Do you know any mercenary stories, Trey?
No, I don't know no mercenary stories, man. You know, but I tell you this. Okay, here's one. Okay, it ain't one, but it is. When we went to the Saudi Arabia, King Fahd at the time, the king of Saudi Arabia, offered to give each American soldier at the time an extra $1,000 a month. George Bush said no, because we are not mercenaries. This is what George Bush said.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to give us $1,000 tax-free extra on top of my little army pay. I'd have came back instead of $6,000. I'd have came back with. I probably would have came back with about 12 or 15,000 because it's all tax-free when you in the war zone. But George Bush turned it down. Hussein set the oil wells on fire. We took all our technology over because Saudi Arabia was into us. They owed us billions of dollars when we left there. Now look at it. We owe them motherfucking billions of dollars. That shit's ass backwards. It's ass backwards.
Saudi Arabia using our money to get wrestling shows over there now.
Man, Saudi Arabia is so rich, man. Listen, they don't deal in 14 karat gold. They only deal in 18 and 24 karat gold. If you ever been to a flea market, they have hundreds and hundreds of booths of guys in their little booths selling gold, all kinds of gold. I'm talking about 24 to 18. Because I used to, I talked to them because I was fortunate enough to be in a unit where I could go out to the city of Riyadh. We couldn't take pictures though. And I was eating Burger King, McDonald's, fucking KFC. I was eating all that shit. The city was clean. Kids riding around with no parental supervision. Motherfucking, their vehicles were at the time the cars were those big ass, big body Caprice Classics, that big body Caprice Classic, BMW, Mercedes, and the trucks was the Datsun Nissan truck. That was it. And Cadillac, big Brougham Cadillacs. That was it. And wasn't no speed limit, but the highways was clean. You can see camels and shit off to the side. You can see all kinds of shit. Gas, and this is the craziest part, man, that I ever under. This is when I woke up when I was over there. My unit, we had a coach bus and our military vehicles when we moved around because I moved twice from one city to another. We used to stop and get gas. Gas at that time in Saudi Arabia was 13 cents a gallon. So we were filling up fucking the coach, about 10 vehicles. We probably spent $100, $150. In 2010, and I don't know, you could probably Google, see what the price is of gas over there today. From 1990 to 2010, the gas prices were the same. And but in America during 2010, gas prices was like $3-4. It was like somewhat what it is now.
Yeah, it went up.
Right, but America tax on bullshit. A lot of that's just to line the pockets of those that are in power. Because one thing about oil, the earth produces enough oil every day to fuel every vehicle on the planet for 2 to 3 years. They have 20 years of oil stockpiled.
Right.
20 years of oil stockpiled. The earth would never run out of oil. What they do is they just cut down production, which really they don't cut down production because it's still producing so much. Only thing they do is put that shit over on the shelf like some wine and shit. We'll come back and get that shit in 20, 30 years. That's all they do.
Put the motherfucker in some barrels.
That's all they do. They put that shit in them barrels and it just sits over there. They store that shit in a nice, cool place and the shit don't change. And it's crazy, man. But in America, you see what we get. We almost $5, $4 a gallon.
Yeah, they're killing us over here. Taxes and price fees for this and that. You know.
Yes, sir, man.
Keep us down,
So,
man. Keep the poor man poor. Let you figure this shit out. Man. You got to use your brain. You know what I'm saying? Escape the poverty mindset. You know.
Yes. And you in a good position, man. You have daughters, right?
Yeah. One son, 2 daughters.
Man, just give them so much information. Give them the information. Test them on the information. Not just, when I mean by give it to them, show them the literature. Show it to them.
Yeah, one thing I can say, yeah, my bad. One thing I can say, Trey, is ever since they've been born, they watch me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I taught that shit. They watch me walk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they see me out here in the field. Like I said, they about know my whole backstory, so they know I'm a fuck ups, and I try to keep them from fucking up. They just watch me move different, you know what I'm saying, from other people. I told my oldest daughter, you know, I just told her, hey, shit, you ever think about getting a boyfriend, you know, hey, make sure that motherfucker better than your dad. And she like, oh well, I won't have none then.
How old is she?
She 12, but these kids.
Oh man, yeah, man, shit, man. Get her engaged, brother. No, brother, get her engaged, man.
What I'm saying, Trey, is that nigga got to do, you know, he got to go hard as me. And she was like, well, I just won't have that then, because she see right now that these motherfuckers, these niggas can't go harder than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be hard to find a motherfucker go harder than me. You know what I'm saying? But my youngest daughter, she ain't number 1, so she ain't even, you know.
Nah, she's still a baby, man. She ain't even.
But one thing she love is this podcast, man. She see me in here. She see me in the station. She finna come in here. She finna take over my show. You know.
Hey, man, look, man, you sitting on the gold, man. You got, how old is your son?
He 15.
Oh man, shit.
Oh,
man.
He already fucking up, man. But you know, I tell them every day, every time I talk to them, man, have a better mindset. Don't stop doing the dumb shit you doing. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Then you gonna
No.
not only cost yourself your own life, you may cost somebody else theirs. Cause he did some
But
dumb
brother,
shit. And it was out there like motherfucker ready to get me and shit. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shit, don't put me in it. Shit, he did that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
huh?
My hands off of him once he do some dumb shit, like that. And I done taught him better. And I know I
Yeah,
taught him
but this talk to him about the safety of it, because what he do won't only affect him, it could affect his sisters. And you know how the
right,
streets work. The streets don't go after the motherfucker that did it. They go
right.
after the motherfuckers that are closest to him.
To him. You're right. That's
So
why
he has to, you know.
I explained that to him. I explained that. I explained what my son and my daughter, they got a older brother in the house. That's my stepson. I raised him since he was 2 months old. You know what I'm saying? So he
Hmm.
part of it too. So, but he got he got a game in China. So he doing he done increased way farther than people expected him to. I'm proud of him for that. And he doing way much better than he was. He got a whole he understand a lot of shit that I've been telling him, and he been seeing it. It's like, okay, shit, daddy right. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I just got to get my biological son. I had to get him to
No,
wake up. You know what I'm saying?
no, brother, he's in a. I'm gonna tell you, all my experience working with youth, especially 14, 15. He's in this state right here.
Yeah,
He's in his strongest puberty state. So he's I think what we was talking about. He's driven by the idea of sex, and you're telling him something he done heard it from you pretty much forever.
right,
So he's immune to it when that pussy and start talking to him. And you grind it. And I'm telling you the best thing you could probably do. And you can choose to do what you want. He knows where you stand in it. Connect him with somebody other than yourself that has that same voice as you're trying to give him.
right,
Because now he'll know it ain't just coming from you. Dad, you don't know. Somebody that's actually okay. Here, let me connect you to somebody and step back.
right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
He
and
need to
allow him.
hear
Yeah, I'm
from
sorry.
somebody else. Yeah, I mean, he do need to hear from other people, but I know I stay on him. His uncle stay on him, and his oldest
Yeah,
brother,
see.
his oldest brother who's not in the home because he's off in college, but he stay on him too. You know what I'm saying? And plus, my little brother stay on him too, and my big brother, when they talk to him, he get off him sometimes. So I mean, he hear it from multiple people, but he adapted to this thug life, you know what I'm saying? Like uh pretty much
Uh,
I could pretty much say like showing out for his friends or showing that he tough or showing that he bad. I'm like, bro, I done taught you that when I was going through school, I dealt with bullies. You know what I'm saying? So when you go out here and bully people, I look at you like them. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a bully. Like that don't resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? I said, if you want my son,
mhm.
man, I've been to broke you off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah,
What type of friends do we have?
man, these motherfuckers call themselves in some fucking gangs and shit, man. I don't even
But
believe in
see,
gangs. 'Cause
have
I
you
believe
ever talked?
I believe in organizations.
Have you ever got the friends and all of them together though?
I ain't never got a chance to meet them.
Yeah, see, that's what if of course, you talk, but see if you ever get opportunity to get them together,
Yeah,
only ask them questions that they have to answer, give an
right.
explanation,
That was my plan. I talked to
and
I think I talked like two of them online when we were gaming. I
hmm
talked to like two of them online, uh, and I was talking to them then about about life. You know what I'm saying? Just talking to them about life while we playing the game. And
hmm
yeah, after that, my son called me and was like, shit, man, they was saying they don't want to play the game with you no more. They don't want to hear that shit.
Hey, man, you know what you should do? Take them to a trip to Iraq. In 2 days, their attitude will change. That's it.
Man,
2 days.
they need some reality somewhere.
I mean, but they have skills. Ask them, see if you can try to tap into their talents, their skills. Like any of them can draw, write, whatever. I
Yeah,
found that once I could get them to focus on the goodness that they have
right.
and not saying, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be doing. Listen, you already have the ability.
Right.
And I just ask them, are you afraid to be great? Are you afraid? Some kids are afraid because they don't know what great looks like. Are you
Yeah.
afraid? Yeah, I want to be great. I ain't afraid. Well, if you're not afraid, then you may have to be a little different from the guys that you're hanging around with.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
like I always tell like I speak on my channel, I speak to him, hey, find what you good at, find your purpose, you know what I'm saying? Find what you think you good at, you know what I'm saying? I always knew he was good in football. Like he started carrying the football. I mean, I remember a time where I had to, if his football got on flat shit, I had to go buy another one or buy an air pump because he was gonna throw a fit. And he just loved that football. He used to always get out there, throw the football with him. I ain't got to no personal questions yet, like the separation with me and his mom, did that affect the way he act? I ain't got into
but
all that.
ask them though. No, ask them, brother. Ask them.
Yeah,
Those are the good questions to ask them.
he probably listening now, but if he is, he can call me. But you know,
But
so
those are those
yeah,
good
man,
conversations to have, brother. I'm telling you,
I always try to sit
those
down
are
and
the
tap
good things.
man, but he don't
Yeah,
never. He like, why you do what you do? He don't have an answer. I'm like, nah, it's gotta be an answer. It's a reason you do what you do.
because
You know,
it's you. It's you. It's you. You in his. You telling him all the time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You telling him all the time. It's and you just said it could be some situations that's going on as far as the the separation of you and the mom. So allow him to express how he may feel or felt at the time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's a good time for that because you can
right.
already see he's at that one fucking mistake. His ass, you know what I'm saying? It could just
Yeah,
be.
he got one more chance to fuck up. He gonna be up the goddamn creek. Yeah, he already,
See.
he already got a record. I'm like, bro, I'm like, son, that's shit gonna follow you for the rest of your life, damn near. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's a juvenile. As long as he stay out of trouble doing his juvenile, it'll
Yeah,
just be juvenile.
I thought the same
But
thing when they arrested me on school campus for some dope. And don't you know that shit?
no, you was on school. No, you was on school campus, bro. That's different. That's different.
That shit followed
That's
me,
different.
but it's also different when you uh he bust his white boy side of the head with a damn center block. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said, bro, you fucking in the white folk territory now. So you know, like you lucky they didn't just throw you away. You lucky that their parents were nice enough to not, put so many charges on you. They could have got you thrown the fucking way because the boy had to have like stitches in his head and shit.
Damn, well, that shit could have been worse.
Yeah, that shit could have been attempted murder. You
Yeah,
know?
shit. I need to let him hear the story of my nephew. I had a nephew, right? Real quick.
Yeah.
Smart kid, didn't miss days out of school, was talented in football, one of the best football players always on his team, can run the hell out of that ball. About the ninth, 10th grade. And he was, look, here's the fucked up part. This motherfucker was an honor roll student from like the 5th grade on. Gets in high school, he's balling, starting, playing football. 10th grade, he got it. Yeah, 10th grade, I guess he called himself trying to be tough. Told his mama he found a gun, but his ass is on Facebook with the gun talking about, yeah, I'm gonna be here if you want to see me, come see me.
Oh shit.
Of course, as soon as he got to the school, he was ready to take the gun. He was ready to take the gun into school. As soon as he got to the school, them motherfuckers, as soon as he paid his money, them motherfuckers hemmed his ass up, right? So when they put him in juvie, they made his ass go to the alternative school for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
So he comes back for it was his junior year, not his summer. He comes back for his senior year, play football, do all that shit, do what he gotta do. I told my sister, I said, look, if he wants to play football, I can make some phone calls, see if I can get him a little walk on the trial. I want to see what now he's into rapping. You know what I'm saying? So he got a few little rap songs in a hotel with a bunch of niggas, but he's into rapping. This is what he's telling her. So she's like, I want to see what his rap career gonna do. Now this was 2022.
Yeah.
2023. Yeah, last year he called this. It was a murder. A kid got taken out. So he was connected to that shit. Somehow his name came up.
Dang.
So in the meantime, he tried to go out down to a military base, the little town by the military base in Kentucky, trying to buy some drugs. But when you're around a military base, you got the local police, the state police, and the military police all work together because they don't want no drugs in their area.
Right.
This motherfucker take off running. He running from the police. Man, they got him with drugs. They got him with guns. He just got he would have turned 21 last May. He got locked up 2 months before his 21st birthday. He got 7 years. He got 7 years.
Damn.
All fed time. He got 7 years. So he won't get out till he's damn near 30 years old.
Cars be flying then.
Yes. All because he didn't want to listen. He wanted to do what he wanted to do.
Trey, you just reminded me of another story when I used to work at Subway. This dude, white dude, he trying to join the Marines, right? Everything passed. He had 1 week, and then he would go to boot camp. 2 days later, this motherfucker, they caught him with a gun and drugs. No, he went to prison and fucked this whole thing up.
Yeah, he fucked himself.
Literally, he was 1 week away from leaving.
He fucked himself. Now, here's the good thing about the military. My friend, I'll tell you, the friend that got me to join the military, he was doing drugs or whatever, but he tried to sell drugs to an undercover. And every year in the city, they would round up your ass, like all the people that got offended on it, because they got him on video.
Right.
He was 7 weeks into basic training. So when they put out these warrants, of course, this guy's in the military. They flew him back. Now if you leave basic training, your ass damn near ain't coming back. So they flew him from basic training back home. He went in front of the judge. They was like, man, I read everything. Now, one thing about the military is they have an amnesty act, meaning if I'm smoking weed, if I fucking, I don't know, do some dumb shit and I get caught and it's like a pending case or just something. And what they did when they flew him back, they told him what his charges was. Then they brought him back to basic training. And they sit you in front of the captain of the platoon or company. They were asking him, did you do this? Did you do this? And he kept saying no, right? And guess what happened? They were saying after that, I can't help you. Now, if he would have admitted that he did it, the military would have said, okay, he did it. He's in the service now. We're going to get him together. He's going to go on and do great things. But he told them no. They sent his ass back home. That dude spent this was in 1990. He spent the next 16, 17 years in and out of jail. In and out of jail. 2012, he went to school. He graduated college with his master's. He ended up being a manager of the city where he was getting locked up at. Today, he has his master's degree. He has 3 felonies and escaped. He has an escape charge. He escaped off the watch and everything. He has 3 felonies. Yeah. And to this day, a dude's a master's degree, worked for the state. So when I hear these guys' stories, I'm like, shit, I ain't doing shit. The dude I came from it all. So
no, have you heard of this story, Trey? He's originally from Liberia, this African country. He came to this. He was born as American too. He studied. He graduated high school, graduated college, got his degree, PhD, and all that good stuff. Goes back to his country. Guess what he does? Overthrows the government and becomes a dictator. He lasted 6 years in power.
Damn, dictator shit. That's some balls on you right there. Shit, I'm taking over.
Yeah. He lasted from 97 to 2002, I think. 2-3.
Shit.
Yeah, man. But Trey, man, and Hassan, I mean, we can chop it up backstage for a minute before we get out, but I'm finna end the show though.
Yes, sir.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
I appreciate you, man, you know.
Oh yeah, man. You know, I appreciate you coming up. You and Hassan showing up on the scene, stepping into the village of Frostville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hit the folks with the outro, so we can be out. Peace and prosperity to everybody. He was a normal man who heard voices in his head. I beat it up into the struggle and screaming out for a pad. I'm from the south, no go to my mouth, take a look off at my swag. I'm so unique, my words to keep, I'm cranking in this bitch. I got keys like Alicia Keys playing keys, too many keys in this bitch. Popping the top off of my drink, I'm solid, bent and leaning. They screaming, he crazy, I'm swinging my car, got people running and screaming. You talking that shit? Turn it up, watch this how I turn it up. Throw your girl a couple dollars, you been messing up. Turn it up, watch this how I turn it up. Going hard off the candy, I been popping up. Told that, I walk that, new life I fought that. Picture this like Kodak, left for a minute but I'm right back. Read this beat like a train track, read this beat like a plane wreck, sank this beat like Titanic. Call him smoke cause he's a bandit, talking to front straight out the panties. She go hard just like some candy.